Okay. Good morning, everybody. Okay, I hope that you can see my screen right now. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Volition Pitch Workshop. Thank you, everybody that is here right now, joining me for this, as I was saying, for this workshop. Welcome, and let's start with this. This is going to be a 30-minute session, something like that, and we are going to dig around the structure on how to build your pitch. Okay, so, oh my God, I am, okay. Please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Right now, I cannot exactly see the chat, but I am trying to be aware of that, and feel free to drop there your questions, and later I can answer all of them. So let's start. I am going to start introducing and saying a little bit about Volition and about myself. So my name is Gabriela Cepeda. I am happy to be part of the Volition team. My experience before is in actually CPG companies. I have experience working with those companies for around maybe 8 years. I used to work, for example, for a company called Kimberly Clark. So it was exciting to work with brands like Haggis, Uvikotex, Kleenex, and so many amazing brands. Right now, I am really happy to be part of the Volition team. So I am now part of the startup ecosystem, the challenging and exciting startup ecosystem. If you don't know what we are, what Volition is doing, so at Volition, we believe that startup ecosystems are made stronger and more sustainable when ecosystem actors find meaningful and creative ways to collaborate. So, what are we doing and who is Volition? Volition is a coalition of startup experts. Our team right now, it's around 14 advisors plus the core team. So we work closely with trusted ecosystem partners across here in Canada, across Europe, and the US too, to deliver basically skill-based training, coaching, and curated events for the startups like this one that you are part right now, the Pitch Conference with Canadian small business women. So that's what we do. Until now, we have run more than 100 pitch events with a lot of audience members. We have more than 6,000 audience member. And what it's great is that we had the chance to hear a lot of pitchers. So we have heard more than 1,000 pitches. And yeah, that's our story. Okay, so right now I'm going to start talking about why we are here to help you build your pitches. I'm gonna start with the pitch mindset. Before going into the part of the structure, I would like to talk about the pitch mindset. So usually when you are building a pitch or when somebody hears about the pitch, the first thing they say that they think about a pitch is, okay, I am going to pitch, I am going to go to an investor forum, networking event to pitch and get something in return. So probably if you are looking for funds, you think that you're going to pitch and get immediately those funds. So that's the first thing that I would like to let you think and start thinking in a different way. So it's not exactly that you are going to get something in return. So let's disrupt that concept that we have about pitch. Pitching is more about building relationship, building trust-based relationships, because you never know what it's going to come from a conversation. So that's the first thing. Let's try to think about I am going to pitch to build that trust and to build that relationship. And also another thing that we have to consider when we are talking about this mindset of pitching, we are not only to pitch for investors or or they are going to be investors, but there's a lot of forms of investors. So one investor or an investor is not only the person that it's going to put cash money into the business. So an investor, it could be mentor, it could be an advisor, it could be a team member, it could be even a customer. So there's different forms of investors and different things that the business can get. So not only cash money, advisors, mentors are going to invest knowledge into the business. They are going to invest time into the business to help you thrive. So let's think about that. There's different ways of investors, and then pitching, the intention to pitch is to build that trust and that relationship with them. Okay, so then let's, following this previous concept of what's the intention of the pitch, let's move the pitch from the transactional part to reframe. Let's reframe the pitch, and let's think about that the pitch, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to tell your story. It's an opportunity to tell who are you, what you are doing, and especially why you are doing that. Okay, so I would like to invite you to think about this and reframe that part of the pitch. Many times entrepreneurs are thinking about, okay, when I go to pitch, I am delivering my pitch, and it feels like it's a one-way broadcast that you are just telling people what you are doing. But in reality, a pitch, when you are doing a pitch, and as if you had the opportunity to check all the amazing pitches that we had just minutes ago, that should feel like more a human to human conversation. That should feel more not a structure, not over rehearsed, but more like a conversation with them. So in that sense, think as the pitch as an opportunity to tell your story, as an opportunity to tell what you want to tell and in the way you want to tell. The pitch, basically, having this in mind, there's three kind of intents of the pitch, or kind of three objectives of the pitch. So the first one is, as you are telling your story, as you are telling why you are doing this and how you are doing this, the first intent is to ignite interest and intrigue and that trust from your audience. Again, the audience could be investors, could be advisors, could be team members. You're trying to ignite that interest and from them. And igniting that interest, you are trying to secure a second conversation. Okay, so you are telling what you are doing right now, and people is going to get your message. They are going to get excited about what you are doing. And afterwards, after your pitch, they are going to come, okay, oh, I love what you are doing, and I would like to know more. Tell me more why you are doing, or they are going to ask more questions about it. So that's the second intention, to secure that that conversation with them. And the third one, we can say increase visibility. It is this one is some of the ones that are really important, because many entrepreneurs are saying that they don't have the chance to get that visibility, or maybe that it's difficult to get that visibility, to get in front of the people and to break into the noise. Especially right now, for example, with CPG companies, we have kind of a lot of competitors in the field, or there's a lot of actors in the field. So it is a bit difficult to break into that noise. These pitch events are a great opportunity to increase that visibility. For example, you start talking about what you are doing, you start talking about your business, and you can be heard by a large audience. Okay, and let's continue. Okay, so now that we have clear the intention of the pitch, that objective of the pitch, and the mindset that ideally you would have to have about a pitch, let's start with the structure per se. And why is really important in a structure? There's a lot of benefits to have a structure around the pitch. And the first of all is that having a structure, it's a compelling way to set yourself apart. That's the first thing that we have to kind of understand. Um, and most memorable pitches have a structure that helps you with the flow of the of your history. So um, oh yeah, I'm sorry, but I forgot what is it was going to say around the structure. The last message around the structure is that think as the structure as it is a script, as that it is a script that you have about your pitch. But also, it is important for you to have that structure combined with a good history. I heard a lot of good histories in the pitches today. I can't remember exactly the name of the company, but I love the story of the packages of the health mental health packages. So she was sharing with us that story. She was having all the elements of the pitch, but also combining with her history about why she's doing what she's doing right now. And again, digging in this part of the structure, I would like to share with you kind of three benefits of why it is really helpful to keep this structure. The first one is kind of I already mentioned. If you have what you would like to say, and have this structure, is going to help you with a more smooth pitch, to say it in that way. You don't have to do it like so scripted, and it's not going to sound so robotic or so over rehearsed. So if you have that structure, if you know what you are going to say, it's going to go more smoothly in a sense. Also, the structure is going to help us to stay on course with what we have to do, and to try to not forget all the pieces and key messages that you would like to share or to actually mention. Um, Another thing is that the structure combined with a good history behind it, it's going to keep the audience to maintain the attention. I really love the pitch of the last company that is Rude. That she did it a really good job, Anka. The flow, how she is telling the story. She was mentioning all the messages, what she's doing, why she's doing, how they are doing, the revenue that they are getting, how many users they are having. And that flow was really nice, really smoothly. And as you can see, maybe all the judges were really surprised, like how was engaging that pitch, and how she was telling the whole story, giving all the key messages that they were expecting to hear in a pitch. And that is linking me to the last piece here, that is ticking the boxes. If we have a structure, we are going to make sure to tick all the boxes, or to touch base in all the elements that our audience is expecting to hear. I'm not going to dig too much into the part of the investors, because that's more extensive way. But in this workshop, the intention is to talk about the main and key components of the pitch, at least the ones that you should have and you should not kind of forget about them, to communicate your message and your pitch in a compelling way. And okay, let's start talking about the Pasoyas and how this structure works. So I don't know if I mentioned, but Pasoyas, Pasoyas is a methodology built by Volition. And we build this methodology based on the experience that we have right now working with hundreds of entrepreneurs. We have amazing pitch coaches that work one-on-one with them, helping them with build this their pitches. So based on that experience of working with hundreds of them, we develop Pasoyas. And what is Pasoyas? Pasoyas is having the basic and key elements of a pitch, but we are adding the part of the story. We are using the story as a core element of Pasoyas. And as I was saying, the story is going to give us the flow. It's going to allowed us to communicate the story as we want to do it. So basically, Pasoyas has the part of the elements of Pasoyas are problem, solution, opportunity, including you and the team, and finally the ask. One last thing that I am going to mention here, maybe you are asking about, is why we did it in kind of a circular way, Pasoyas, and it is because you can play around with certain elements as you when you identify what's the problem, what's the solution, the opportunity, the ask, depending on the stage of the company, depending on what you would like to communicate, you can play around with these elements. Let's say that you have maybe a 3-4 minute speech. Doesn't mean that you have to keep 1 minute for this, 1 minute for that, and 1 minute for the other. You can play it around with these elements depending on what you would like to say. You can do a short statement of the problem, then you can focus on the part of the solution if you are an early stage company, or maybe you are having more traction, so you would like to have more time to talk about the opportunity. And finally, don't forget to reserve some time to get into the part of the ask. So that's why we are presenting Pasoyas in kind of this graphic. And finally, let's start with Pasoyas and explaining each one of the elements. So let's start with the problem. One of the things that we have seen when we are working with entrepreneurs in their pitches, a lot of them spend too much time trying to explain the problem. So let's say it is, again, a 3-minute speech, and they are dedicating almost a minute trying to explain the problem. And this should not be like that. So the problem should be explained in a clear and easy way. So maybe we are trying to define, or we have a rule of thumb that you should spend around 15 seconds to explain your problem. That should be really easy and clear to understand. And for example, you can, to get into that point that you're able to explain the problem in an easy way, you can practice. For example, you can practice and mention the problem statement to friends and family and try with them. Get the feedback from them and try to build a problem statement, really easy is to mention. One thing related with CPG companies really, not usually they are working into so complex problems, or not they are not addressing pain points. So for example, if we're talking about snacks, if we are talking about beauty products, we are not having exactly a complex problem. So your problem should be really short, should be really clear and concise. Maybe you need to get into the part of the opportunity or the solution, talking about the traction that you're having. So just keep it your problem very, very short and concise. Then let's go into the part of the solution. And here in the part of the solution, I think that the companies that pitched earlier did a really great job. So in the solution, it's better to not just talk about the solution. It's the way that you show what you are doing, how you are solving that problem, or how you are covering that necessity of the customer. And here in the part of the solution, again, you have to explain it or try to explain it very concisely. For example, thinking right now about, again, CPG companies, if you can show us the product, if you can show us a picture, if you can show us a person actually using the product, how they are, I don't know, how they are drinking the juice or something like that. At the very beginning of this pitch conference, Paul was actually showing an amazing product that he has right now. He was showing in the screen the reed straws, the product. So try to do that as you are doing your pitch. Show to the audience, show to the investors what you are doing and why if you show your product. Another important thing in the solution, if It's going to be really helpful also if you explain the solution by using a story. Okay, so in this case, it would be better if you use the story of your customer. For example, you can put it a name. You can present a real case about how people is using the product, how often they are using, where they are getting the product, what channel they are using. They are getting into the stores where they do. Who is buying the product? I don't know. Maybe it is. Let's talk about again the juices. Who is buying that product? It's buying. It's being bought by a mother. It's being bought by a student. Who is buying that product? So think about that story and walk us through the process of purchasing by using that story. In that sense, you are going to explain what you are doing, what is your solution, but also you are going to explain the value that the customer is getting out of that product. That is a better way to show what you are doing and the solution. Then let's move into the part of the opportunity. Okay, so here in the opportunity, we want to talk. This is very, very important because most of the times entrepreneurs forget about really key elements that a pitch should have. So, for example, here is very important to talk about the business model, the traction that you are having, or also, or even the return that you are having as a business. So make sure to talk about how you are translating that opportunity into revenue for the business. Um, Again, if you catch up that part, one of the judges in the pitches was saying, don't forget to talk about the unit economics. And here for CPG companies, that is really, really important. Okay, so you are producing a snack. Okay, perfect. How much is it? What is your margin in buying and selling the snacks? Um, for example, an idea about what are your costs. So don't forget about to talk about those units economics. That is really important to mention here, and that is going to talk about the revenue and the business model. Also, to have in mind, revenue is one way that you can prove traction, that you can show traction actually, but it's not the only way. There's a lot of ways that you can prove traction. So, another ways to prove traction for CPG companies could be how many customers are you having? How many subscribers you have for the newsletter, for example, or maybe how many partnerships you have. Let's say it again, let's talk about the snacks. So how many partnerships you have? Maybe you are getting a partnership with a juice, with a beverage. So talk about those partnerships. How many items do you have in your portfolio, for example, if you are developing new portfolio. Those are different ways of proof traction. Another point that I would like to talk about is competition. This one is important too. So a red flag for investors is could be when you are saying that you don't have competition, for example, and that's not exactly true. So you always are going to have competitors, and they could be direct competitors, or they can be in indirect competitors. So in that sense, think about who is in your field, who is in the market, and talk about them. Talk about that you are aware of them, and especially and more important is talk about what you are doing differently compared with those competitors. What are you doing? How you are going to thrive in this market? And something that I would like to ask you to think about is, what is your motto, and how that motto is going to give you the competitive advantage to thrive in the market? That is really important. And also another part that talking about these competitors, why, if you have competitors that you can have collaborations. Maybe you are doing this, but they are doing maybe something different, and maybe you can talk to them and do collaborations. That would be great. So it's technically not competitors. You are kind of joining forces and doing something something else or something different. And the last one, but not because it's the last one, it's not important, it's really important, especially for early stage companies, or actually all the companies. Don't forget about you and your team. This is really important. Investors in the form of investor that it's investing cash, or mentors, advisors, again, as I was saying, they are investing in the people that it's involved in the business. And as we know here in the part of in the startup ecosystem, we have many changes. Companies change a lot during years, months. So you need to be sure to showcase your team, why they are the expertise, why they are going to be the ones to help the business to thrive. So showcase them, showcase their expertise, what they do good, what they do the best, and showcase the talent that is part of your team. Finally, I am going to get into the part of the ask. This is very important. And when you don't kind of track the time or have the proper structure here, unfortunately, many entrepreneurs run out of time and don't get into the part of the ask. And this is very important. So here, what I'm going to say is think about what you need at this moment for your business, and who is your audience. This is the two things that you have to bear in mind when doing your ask. So again, it's not only the to pitch is not only the part to get funds. You can get mentors. You can ask to get introductions in a certain network or funding. So bear in mind who is your audience, so you can do the part of your ask. And another thing to consider here in the ask, it's not only what I am asking, the use that I'm going to do with that ask, is how what you are asking is going to take you to the other stage, to get your next milestone. So how that ask that you are doing is going to help you to achieve your goal. Think of that goal within in a period of 12 to 15 months that you are going to achieve that milestone. So how, if you get a mentor, how that mentor is going to help you to go through the process and achieve that milestone. So that is really important to mention here in the ask, how this is going to help you. Another part really important is to be specific. Try to be as much specific as possible. So sometimes people mention like, yeah, my ask is I don't know, to get connected to an advisor. Okay, but there's tons of advisors, there's tons of topics that you would like to cover. So be specific as I need introductions for a specific field. So for example, if you are a CPG company and if you would like to get introductions to Safeway, I don't know. So be specific, and people, it's going to react to that to that ask, and maybe they can remember, okay, I know somebody that knows somebody, or I know somebody that I can do that introduction, and you can get what you exactly need at this moment. And with that, we have covered all the four pieces, the four main pieces of Pasoyas, combined again with the story. And I hope this is helpful for you. And right now, I am going to kind of end this part talking about the deck. This is another question that entrepreneurs have when they are developing or building the pitch. It's about the deck. So if you are asking about if the deck is really important, yes, it is really important. But bear in mind that when you are pitching, you are going to be the start of the show. You are going to be the start of your pitch. So the attention needs to be kind of in you. The deck is going to be the supporting actor. The deck is going to be supporting the message that you are trying to communicate. So in that sense, think as the pitch deck in different ways. So first, what I'm going to say is try to have, and we recommend to have different types of decks. So the first one, the pitch deck should be a really clear one, a simple one, not too much text. So it's better if you can use images instead of a lot of text. So you would like to keep the attention of the audience. You would like to keep people listen to what you are saying, and you don't want to get them confused or get them distracted to what you put in the slides. If you are having text there, you don't want for the people to be reading the text. You would like for people to be listen to you. So just keep it very simple, the deck, and you would be great. The second one, you can develop a second deck that could be a more extensive deck, maybe for a pitch around 5 to 10 minutes, that you can add a little bit of more content. That could be for later stages if you are pitching to getting funds. That could be for later stages into the process if you are talking with investors. So have that second version of the deck. And last one, have a kind of a more complete version, but that one not exactly for presentation. That one should be used when you need to email that deck. So let's say that you secure the second conversation. People want to know more about your business, want to know more about what you are doing. So you have a complete deck with more text, more graphics. You can add there more numbers, more unit economics, and you can send that by email, so people can have the time to check that deck. So that is basic here in the part of the deck, and I think that would be all. I am going to conclude just doing kind of a summary of what we taught today, and that I hope that it's going to be useful. So again, the key message, think that pitching is an opportunity for you to generate intrigue and to secure that second conversation. Pitching is going to help you to build relationships and build trust-based relationships. That's the intent of the pitch. And a story, it's going to help you to do that, to build the trust and to have a memorable pitch. That is important. Then don't forget about the structure. Structure is going to help you to kind of tick all the boxes that you need to have in a pitch, to be sure that you have all the key elements that you would like to communicate. And finally, don't forget about the ask. Always have an ask. If you don't ask, you are not going to get it. So don't forget about the ask. And that's all. I hope that this workshop is really helpful for you. As I was saying, this is Volition. I am part of the Volition team. You can find us in pretty much every social. You can find us in Instagram. You can connect us in LinkedIn. We have our YouTube channel where we have a lot of amazing interviews with many entrepreneurs. There's a lot of things that you can learn from them, from those interviews. So check it out. Check all our socials. And happy to be here. And I hope that you have a great rest of your kind of evening, afternoons at this point. So thank you so much. Okay.